Welcome to Echoes of Time. In today's video, we'll be looking at some fascinating historical pictures, rare glimpses into the past that tell us stories without a single word. We'll explore photos connected to great figures and civilizations. So stay tuned, because each image we uncover today holds a secret from the past, waiting to be revealed. Follow, and let the past speak. You are now watching Echoes of Time. The woman they feared would rise again, a 17th century vampire burial in Poland. Buried not in peace, but in fear. In the quiet village of Pien, Poland, archaeologists uncovered something chilling beneath the soil, the skeletal remains of a 17th century woman buried with a rusted sickle pressed tightly across her neck, and a padlock clasped around her toe. These weren't random objects. They were weapons of superstition. According to Professor Dariusz Polinsky from Nicholas Copernicus University, these elements were part of an anti-vampire burial ritual, meant to ensure the woman stayed dead. The sickle would slice her throat if she tried to rise. The padlock was a symbolic seal to lock her soul in the grave. Curiously, traces of a silk cap suggest she once held high social status. So why treat her like a monster? In the 1600s, when disease spread fast and science was scarce, fear filled the gaps. The dead were sometimes blamed for misfortune, especially if they died in strange ways or bore unusual features. Now, centuries later, forensic scientists have reconstructed her face using DNA and digital modeling. A human face for a long-feared legend. This discovery shows how vampire beliefs evolved, explains forensic anthropologist Matteo Barini. From revenants blamed for plagues to the blood-sucking fiends of Victorian fiction. This is more than archaeology. It's a haunting window into a time when people fought the supernatural with sickles and locks, and buried their fears alongside the dead. Next. In one of the most haunting archaeological discoveries ever made, two 4,000-year-old skeletons and adults shielding a child were unearthed in northwest China at the Legia ruins, now often called China's Pompeii. The scene captures a frozen moment from 2000 BCE, when a massive earthquake triggered floods that buried this Neolithic village in seconds. Preserved in their final embrace, the pair's posture tells a silent but powerful story of love and protection in the face of catastrophe. Experts believe the adult was trying to shield the child from collapsing debris, a heartbreaking final act of devotion. Now housed at the Legia Ruins Museum, this archaeological site offers more than artifacts, it offers human emotion suspended in time. A tragic moment made eternal by mud and memory, reminding us that even across 4 millennia, the instinct to protect the ones we love transcends history. Next. In the windswept ghost town of Canyon Diablo, Arizona, sometime around 1905, the thin line between myth and madness blurred beneath the desert sun. The town, infamous for its lawlessness, bore witness to one of the Wild West's most chilling and oddly heartfelt farewells, a moment both grotesque and strangely loyal. John Shaw, an outlaw who lived fast and died in a hail of bullets, was buried quickly in the dusty soil. But for his fellow cowboys, drunk, grieving, and still full of wild frontier fire, a simple grave wasn't enough. In a grim twist that seemed born of equal parts sorrow and saloon whiskey, they exhumed Shaw's body days later. They propped him up against a fence, placed a bottle of whiskey in his lifeless hand, and posed for a photograph that would etch itself into Western folklore. Captured in stark black and white, the image is both macabre and mournful, Shaw, glassy-eyed and limp, surrounded by comrades who refuse to let death dull his legend. Their faces are worn and weathered, but behind the hardened stares is a strange tenderness, an unspoken oath among men who lived by their own code. That final toast wasn't just a drunken stunt. It was a frontier eulogy. This haunting scene, set against the brutal backdrop of early 20th century Arizona, reminds us that in the Old West, death was never far, but neither was camaraderie. In a place where life was short and graves shallow, John Shaw's friends ensured he didn't fade into the dust. With whiskey in hand and boots still dirty from the trail, they sent him off the only way they knew how, defiant, raw, and unforgettable. That's it for today's journey into the past. If you enjoyed uncovering these powerful historical images, don't forget to like, follow, and share with others who love history too. Until next time. Keep exploring. Keep remembering. You've been watching Echoes of Time, where history lives on. Thanks for watching.